Good morning and welcome in. Dan Hardenbrook, glad to have you along. It is finally Friday. Ready now to start your weekend with a look at your latest local news from around the region. It is your Newberry News Update on M123 FM. Your news today is brought to you by the Luce County Veteran Services Office. Veteran Services Officer Rick Menard is ready to serve you. For all your veteran service needs, call 293-4890. In your latest local news this morning, Three Lakes Academy releasing information for their upcoming second annual gala fundraiser. The event will take place June 14th at the Erickson Center for the Arts in Curtis. This year's theme and attire will be Old Hollywood. The event will start at 6 p.m. with doors opening at 5 p.m. There'll be a silent auction, cash bar, best dressed award, catered dinner, dancing, and a photo booth. Follow the Three Lakes Academy Facebook page for upcoming ticket information and mark your calendars for June 14th. That's the Three Lakes Academy second annual gala fundraiser coming to the Erickson Center for the Arts this summer. AT&T has announced that they're selling off all of their Upper Peninsula assets. And a story first broke in this past week's edition of the Newberry News. UP Fiber Incorporated announcing that it has entered in a definitive agreement to acquire AT&T's wireline assets located in the Upper Peninsula. Those assets represent more than 9,000 miles of copper, 1,500 miles of business fiber, and network infrastructure across 40 wire centers that collectively provide voice and internet service to more than 9,000 residential and business customers. UP Fiber will have a services agreement with the Michigan Broadband Services, which is a subsidiary of MAC10 Inc. Michigan Broadband Services will provide sales, marketing, billing, and technical support to UP Fiber, which will help significantly expand the network it serves to cover more than 70,000 passings. AT&T customers currently residing in the UP will now be serviced by Michigan Broadband following the close of the transaction. Michigan Broadband currently on their own serves more than 5,000 customers and is in the early stages of a $100 million capital investment in fiber optic upgrades. The combination of UP Fiber and Michigan Broadband should collectively explore strategic opportunities, and they hope to become the largest and most reliable broadband communications provider in the Upper Peninsula. The groups are planning new product offerings and pricing tiers that will be announced in future months, with regular updates about the network expansion being shared online. The transaction is subject to receipt of certain regulatory approvals and other customary closing conditions. Get more information on AT&T selling off its UP assets by checking out the most recent edition of the Newberry News. Michigan Works of the Upper Peninsula is hosting its annual Newberry Job Fair. That'll be next week on April 29th. The event will run from 3 until 5 p.m. at the American Legion Post 74. If you need a new career or are looking for a change of pace, you can come and meet one-on-one with many different local business leaders. For more information, contact Jessica Kalita for updates. Call 906-293-8551 or JK ALETA at upmichiganworks.org. Make plans on attending and come dressed for success for the Newberry Job Fair, hosted by Michigan Works of the Upper Peninsula. That's April 29th. A local business is honoring the accomplishments for record holders at Engadine Consolidated Schools. Laura Neese, who is the owner of local sled dog company My Dog, has donated 2 new plaques commemorating recent accomplishments of Engadine record-setting athletes. Molly McNamara and Nate Steelstra are honored for their achievements in the most recent displays on the Engadine accomplishments. Molly broke the school record for the 800, 1600, and 3200 meter runs during her junior high track and field career, while Steelstra broke the record for the 1,600 meter run on the boys' side, also during his junior high track and field time. Neese, the owner of My Dog, was eager to acknowledge the accomplishments of the student athletes in Engadine because the records often go many years without being broken. Just like she celebrates her sled dogs for being athletes, she said she equally enjoys celebrating student athletes in Engadine. The opportunity arises in the future. Niece says she'll continue to donate plaques to recognize the hard work and dedication it takes to break those records. I'm Dan Hardenbrook. That is your latest local news this morning. It's your Newberry News Update on M123 FM. Your news today brought to you by the Luce County Veteran Services Office. Contact Veteran Services Officer Rick Menard at 293-4890. Stop by the Veteran Services Office located inside the Luce County Government Building in Newberry. Time now to check in with sports this morning. The first round of the NFL draft is in the books. Hundreds of thousands showing up in Green Bay to get an up-close look at the next round of NFL future talent. Packers had the 23rd pick in front of their hometown fans, selecting one of the top wide receivers in the draft. Packers taking Matthew Golden, 23rd overall, the wide receiver out of Texas, considered by many to be one of the top pass catchers available this weekend. There'll be a new target for quarterback Jordan Love. First time since 2002 that the Packers taking a wide receiver in the first round. 5 picks later, it was the Lions' turn. They go with a big fella up front. Ohio State defensive lineman Tyleik Williams, taken 28th overall by the Lions. Williams expected to join the returning Aiden Hutchinson up front, anchor a Lions defense that was hampered by injuries last season. Much of the talk in the first round about who wasn't selected, including Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. At one point was considered to be the potential number 1 overall pick. Questions about his arm strength and pro skill set causing Sanders to tumble all the way out of the first round in last night's draft. He's one of the top players available going into the weekend as the draft continues in Green Bay. Pistons lose a close one at home in playoff action to the New York Knicks, 118-116. Knicks now lead the Pistons 2-1 in their first round playoff series. It was a big night for Jalen Brunson. He led 4 Knicks starters in double figures, so he finished with 30 points on the night. Pistons' Cade Cunningham had 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists. Tim Hardaway Jr. had a big night as well. Pistons come up a bucket short in that contest. After an off day yesterday, the Tigers are back at it inside Comerica Park this weekend, welcoming in the Baltimore Orioles for a 3-game set. Tigers enter the weekend 15-10 on the year and 10-3 at home. Casey Mize on the mound tonight, 3-1 with a 2.22 ERA this season. Your latest local weather forecast for the day today: showers are likely. Highs will be in the upper 40s. North winds 5 to 10. For your Saturday, partly sunny. Highs will be in the low 50s. North winds 5 to 10. For Sunday, partly sunny. Highs in the upper 50s. I'm Dan Hardenbrook, and this is your Newberry News Update on M123 FM. The Luce County Veteran Services Office proudly advocates for our area veterans. Local Veteran Services Officer Rick Menard is ready to serve you. For all your veteran service needs, including claims, medical information, benefit coverage, and more, contact Rick Menard in the Luce County Veteran Services Office at 293-4890. The Luce County Veteran Services Office, proud supporters of our community.